Hello, Eli. Welcome to Paris. You have presented within the theory of constraints the idea that there might be two different types of constraints that, if I summarize it with my words, are that if the goal of an organization is to make money now and in the future, there's the constraint or the subject of making money now, and there's the constraint or subject of making money in the future. And it's important to make the difference and realize that you might have one of each.
Yes, first of all, it all comes, what is the role of constraints right now?
Mm-hmm.
Because we cannot ignore the fact that constraints were so important in the middle of the 80s when the concept came, and somewhere after 2000, they are not so much mentioned. They were not mentioned much by Eli. They do not appear at all at the S&T templates. So what is there that made some kind of a difference for it? And there is a related question of what is a constraint. I mean, what about policy constraint? Because Eli publicly regretted using the term because he said policy is not a constraint.
Mm-hmm.
If you need to change a policy, change it from now to today. Don't exploit it, don't subordinate. But if we come to think about it, there are many limitations that limit the organization from doing more.
Mm-hmm.
It could be totally external, like all kinds of silly laws by the government, but what can we do?
Mm-hmm.
So what is a constraint? And when I thought about it, I thought there are two things that, if I think about a constraint and I think about the validity of the 5 focusing steps, I can say a constraint is something that is relatively continuous. Which means if you have a little bit more of it,
mm-hmm.
you get more.
Mm-hmm.
If you give a little bit less of it, you get less.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, the exploitation and the subordination are so critical to it.
Yep.
But then I was thinking, again, what the constraint is constraining. The performance of the system? Well, I don't know. If you sell 1,000 units and you sell them for $100, but actually, let me tell you, you could have sold them for 120. What is this? Constraint, not a constraint?
Mm-hmm.
Still, the question of the constraint is why only 100?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't you sell more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it looked to me that the constraint is a constraint to a flow. Once I thought about this idea, certainly in a system there are many flows.
Mm-hmm.
There is flows of value delivery, there is flows of money, there is flow of material, there is flow of information. All right, there's quite a lot of flows. But 2 flows are critical.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you have quite nicely outlined it. One is now, and one is in the future.
Mm-hmm.
And there are 2 different flows in any kind of organization. We currently, this is our business, these are our resources, these are our procedures, this is how we operate, can we do more? What limits us from better flow, for more flow, not better necessarily, but more flow? Mm-hmm. Okay, we have a constraint. Could be the market demand, could be a machine, a person, could be even material. All right, all of these constraining the flow of value. At the same time, we try to look into the future and we say we have all kinds of ideas how our value flow will look in the future. We will put advertising campaign, and for our new products, we need to develop them, by the way, and with some new concept, and we will enter new market segments, and by the way, we will also work on the motivation of our people. Okay. All of these are initiatives that are aimed to make something better, not today, not tomorrow morning. It will take some time. So there are quite a lot of initiatives. Mm-hmm. And we are constraining to take them and to make them as fast as possible. What is constraining the flow of initiatives? Here, when I thought about it, now I understood better what Eli said about the ultimate constraints being management attention. Because eventually it comes to it. Who is looking for building the future of the company? Some high level of managers, most of them, are dealing only with the future.
They should anyway, yeah.
No, most of them in which this is their job to look for the future, right. They are not dealing with the daily life.
Right.
You might say that also those who are doing with the daily life are still like that they will come to me and say that they have a nice idea to improve the system. Mm-hmm. But between you and me, it does not happen too often, yep. And there looks as if they are fully busy. Yep. But please, I didn't see management attention as a constraint to the current value. I haven't seen it. Maybe you have. And even if you have, I assume, okay, you have a story here, maybe you have a story there. This is not as common.
Oh, no, right, that I agree.
I mean, the managers are fully busy, but we know that they have quite a lot of excess capacity because, God forbid, if they will be truly a constraint, I think then...
Yeah, but we basically agree on this. The difference we have, because we're not talking about the same time horizon, is that what is constraining things now, it's too late to take the structural decisions 1 year ago to have changed those constraints, yes. Right? And in that sense, you're optimizing or managing the constraints you have because it's too late to change them. And this is very different from the other flow, because normally if you're looking far away into the future or far enough, you've got time once you've identified what you want to do to prepare, and therefore it's not the same sort of subjects.
Not the same, but it also addresses something about some criticisms that were put against TOC. That TOC looks for the short term.
Yep.
Now, I always thought, okay, because there's so much uncertainty around, it's natural to look for the shorter term because, come on, exploit the constraint is definitely shorter.
Yeah. Because
I can really elevate it. I mean, after some time, I will elevate it. And so it is shorter. TOC have developed to look also in the longer term and better than many others. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so I still think that we should look more into it because I have only one word to say about the flow of initiatives. Because for me, the group of those initiatives, that each one of them aim to get more mm-hmm. in the future, yeah. I would like to call it strategy. This is a strategy of the company.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Eli.
Thanks.